guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I am Fire Marshal Johnson, and we will be going over today power tools in the fire service. I have with me Captain Bowler. Also, we have Division Chief Johnson sitting in here today evaluating us on our instructing skills for this presentation. So if each of you would introduce yourselves as we go along.
I'm Kagan Puckett of Mid-County Fire Protection District.
I am Trey Tinker of Mid-County Fire Protection District.
I'm Jake Rogers of Mid-County Fire Protection District.
I'm Kurt Bradley from Mid-County.
I'm Isaac Dalrymple, Mid-County.
Nick Lynn from Mid-County.
Nick Davis, Lebanon City.
Matt Elder, Mid-County.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna start today with going over power tools. So we're gonna start with different types of power tools. Captain Bowler?
So, what kind of power tools do we use in the fire service?
Chainsaw.
K-12.
K-12, chainsaw,
Sawzall.
sawzall,
Extra
Is that-
battery operated functions, is that kind
battery, electric, either one.
so, extrication, so spreaders, cutters.
Spreaders, cutters, yep.
Ram.
Ram, anything else?
Circular saws.
What's that?
Circular saws.
Circular saws, yep. We actually do use circular saws. Whenever we do some extrication, bus extrication, that kind of stuff, you'll get into some different saws that you'll use, different kinds of blades. What about fans? Yeah. So what are a lot of these powered by nowadays?
Batteries.
Batteries. Lots of batteries on the fire trucks. What's the problem with batteries?
They
They die. So it's your guys' job to check those every day, right?
Yes.
What's another problem with batteries?
They take a long time to charge.
They can, yes.
Do you have a limited supply of the batteries?
What's that?
Like limited supply of batteries, so if one goes down.
Right,
might not
yep.
be able to-
It's good to have a bunch of spares, stuff like that. What about their lithium?
Yeah.
So what's the problem with lithium batteries?
They're hard to extinguish if they catch on fire.
There's a fire hazard there, right? If you guys watch Firehouse Fire Engineering, you'll see stuff on there about batteries catching fire in these compartments on these trucks. So that is an issue. So you wanna make sure you do your truck checks, you look at the batteries, see if there's anything wrong with them, go through them, all right?
What could be a sign to show you that the battery's having some sort of issue?
Maybe one will charge or can charge.
If
Could
there's
be.
any like CMT damage on the outside, or maybe you would take it off on like the inner part where it actually connects. Check for some corrosion, stuff like that, yeah.
What if they're bulging a little bit?
Yeah.
That's something to always emphasize, a sign that maybe something could be bad with them.
Do they produce like a higher grade as far as like the tolerance to heat and stuff for the fire service as far as batteries go?
Nope, I mean, if you look at our batteries, a lot of them are Milwaukee or DeWalt, same batteries that you're using at home. So yeah, there's not a special battery.
What would you say the average run time for like the K-12, like how you put down a battery, would you in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or?
Well, it depends on the battery and how much you're using the saw. I mean, if you're really ripping through some stuff, you may get 20 minutes out of it. So, they all have different battery lifespan on it for time, but it depends on how much material you're cutting and what kind of material you're cutting. That's why we like to carry plug-in ones too, right?
Yeah.
So you can plug that stuff in, not on a K-12, but like your Sawzall, if you're doing auto extrication, it's nice to have that where you can plug it into an extension cord and keep power going.
Yeah, cause if you're doing bus, you're probably gonna run out of battery, aren't you? The battery might make it for the car you're doing, but you're having to cut all those posts on a bus, you might have a issue going further, so.
Yeah,
Having a
some-
wired one is helpful.
That's something to keep in mind. If you get on a big incident, maybe, hey, call for another truck that we have that has the same batteries. Call back to the station, maybe there's some downstairs. Make sure you're getting extra batteries. Nice thing is a lot of these things can be plugged in, even if the battery goes dead, so.
But you guys see the importance of recharging those batteries and checking that How do you think it's gonna go if you didn't do, in your truck check in the morning, and you didn't check that battery or put a new battery on, and you guys get a big MVA?
I don't think you're probably gonna get in trouble, but it's also not benefiting the victim or patient.
The citizens and stuff, we talked about that earlier, right? Huge public perception of what the public thinks of us. If we're out there, and let's say you got a big MVA on 54, and you're sitting there cutting and your tools die. Usually there's a lot of people sitting there watching you and everything, right? So not only can you not help your patient at this point in time, you also are looking a fool to all the people that are around you and comprehending of what you're doing.
And what's one thing a lot of those people standing around watching are doing?
Recording.
They're recording it, so it's gonna be out there on social media, it's gonna go everywhere, so then, then you look bad. Nobody wants to look bad.
So like the main reason for transition to battery powered, and kind of away from hydraulic is just convenience and time sake.
And some of them are lighter, easier to work with, then I don't have to be tethered to this hydraulic line. Especially around here, we're pretty down in these ravines. I don't wanna have to haul the power unit, the hoses, and the cutter, spreader, and everything else, it's just easier, you can grab that and go.
Is there a difference in usefulness that you found, you think, between like the corded power tools and the battery power tools? Like, does the cord tend to usually be able to, do a little more than the battery power, or is they virtually the same, like?
I mean, one thing, whenever you got a cord and it's plugged in, it's not gonna quit running, right? With the battery, you are limited on your time, so how much time you get to spend using that tool is gonna be cut into. Definitely whenever I can hook to a cord and I can just sit there and cut, that's gonna be the best way to go. But sometimes that's not always an option. Any other questions? All right, Chief.
Alright, we're gonna move on to functions. We haven't done functions yet.
Oh, we haven't done functions.
No, I switched on you because it's in my pocket. Do you wanna hold it?
No,
It's in my, okay.
no. Go ahead.
I thought you were taking that one. So what are some functions you guys think we use power tools for?
Cutting,
Okay?
is that what you're looking for?
Extrication.
So I feel like that's kind of our main one, is the extrication.
Yeah.
You also use it to like, after you're done on the scene, help close up the windows and whatnot, you use drills and stuff like that to.
You could, we're not usually, we don't usually do board up, but that is
I guess
something
Some
we
departments
could.
do, some
Yeah,
departments
thinking
are really
outside
big
of the
into it.
box, that's
I guess
something
also
we could do.
forcible entry, depending on like, if you have like the window bars, having to use like the K-12 to get through those and stuff, so.
Mhm.
You can also use a drill on a door with panic hardware. You can drill a hole, stick a wire in there and pull that panic hardware and still be able to get inside without tearing the whole door up. Cause sometimes we don't wanna destroy the whole door for an alarm sounding, there's no smoke,
As we talked about, also door control and stuff like that,
Yeah.
very helpful.
Have any of you guys ever seen that where you drill a hole and stick the wire in and pull?
Seen a video of it.
Seen a video of it? I can go over some of that whenever we're downstairs later today and show you guys how that stuff works. I can't actually drill a hole in a door.
So that's a lot of conventional ways. What are some unconventional ways you guys think we could use power tools? Just even, don't think there, think just around the station. We got, you guys heard about the props that Chief Amsinger just got, right? So
We're gonna put them together.
we're gonna have to like put stuff together. We're gonna have to, utilize that, all that wood and stuff that we just got, maybe doing, some cutting and stuff like that. So it isn't always just the ability to do it while you're here, or out on the scene. It's what you can do while you're here too. Firemen are basically jacks of all trades, right? And so we need to be able to do maintenance and stuff on our buildings, like Matt, not too long ago you had to fix what with a screwdriver?
On the door?
The bathroom door, yeah. So there is a lot of different things that we might be able to use them on, not just on the scene, but here where we still have to functionally use them and use them the same. What's the top little blue thing in that picture? Air compressor. We use air compressors, don't we?
Mhm.
Gotta make sure those tires are filled up and everything's okay there, so that's a power tool and maybe not a portable one in our case. Huh?
Installing smoke alarms.
Yes, good job, Jake. We talked earlier about our smoke alarm installation program and everything. When you're putting those brackets up, you have to be able to put new brackets up, use a drill to put them up. Do we wanna look like an idiot in front of some homeowner and put 20 holes in their ceilings as we're trying to learn to do that or hang it up? No, so that's one thing that you wanna be able, you know, how to use that, you know, drill appropriately and not mess it up on them. So that's a good one. Anybody got anything else? Thoughts? Okay, so let's see. Circular saw, what do you guys think we would use it for?
Cutting the bus.
Cutting the bus. Extrication, it works really well, cutting the bus up.
What did we talk about earlier today? Public education? Matt, have you ever used any power tools to do public education stuff?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? What about your prop?
Maybe.
You used it to make your prop, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so see that they have lots of uses that you can't just necessarily narrow it down to us using them here, or us using them on emergency calls. We use them for a lot of things.
So when you're cutting up the bus, is there a special blade that you have to put on the circular saw?
It's not really a special blade, but you put them on backwards, so they're spinning the wrong direction. And you want kind of a smaller tooth to go through the metal.
Why is that?
So it doesn't grab a hold of it as violently whenever it's spinning. It cuts easier if it's going backwards through the metal.
Usually something more difficult to cut through has got smaller teeth. Like a wood saw or a wood blade compared to a metal blade.
Do all like, so on circular saws, do all saws take like, for the different types of blades, will they all accept them, or are there only certain saws that'll take like the metal blades and then some will take the wood, or is it, they all kind of interchange?
Normally they make one that'll, either kind will go with a saw. You know, they have a wood or a metal or whatever, it'll go on any saw. They also make a glass cutter that is battery powered, so you can cut out windshields and stuff like that. It's pretty handy to have.
Alright, so we're gonna talk about safety of power tools. Actually, we should go back first. What do you guys think while you're using power tools is safety things, items you should use?
Safety glasses.
Safety
Safety glasses, that is a great thing.
Eye, ear, head.
Gloves, huh?
Eye, ear, head, yeah.
Yep, everything. What about your clothing?
Yeah, you should
Oh,
probably have on
PPE
the fire
gloves.
gear for protect.
Don't have any clothing dangling or that's loose that could get caught up in the blade or.
What if we are on a motor vehicle accident? What should we be wearing?
High vis vest.
Our bunker.
Bunker coats.
Dual
Yes.
purpose.
PPE, right?
PPE.
Dual
Make
purpose.
sure you always wear the appropriate PPE.
You shouldn't be cutting on a car with no coat on. Or pants or any, you should have the full protective, you should have your gloves on, you should have your eye protection, your head protection, all of that stuff while you're doing it.
Even if you're the guy standing back watching, you wanna make sure you have your stuff on. Cause what if something happens, you gotta jump up there really quick. You won't take the time to put your gloves on. Sometimes you gotta pull on a piece of metal for somebody or something, you're gonna cut your hands up. I've seen a cutter blade snap off and fly 40 feet across the road. You know, if that would've hit somebody, it would've done a lot of damage, but you know, that's why you wear your PPE too, cause that helps stop with the cutting and different things like that, and it does give you a little more padding.
Alright, so regular maintenance. So a lot of things, when you guys are doing your truck checks and stuff, you guys need to be checking it, and if you see any issues, let's report those issues, so that we can get those items taken care of. One of the things I hate to hear is when we find something broken or messed up or something, then everybody says, oh, it's been like that forever. Well, being like that forever is not positive, right? We need to, if we see it, we need to say something and report it so that we can then get it taken care of. Because in an emergency scene, when we're needing this equipment, we need it to work appropriately, right? We don't need it to break down at all. So maintaining them, like keeping your bar chain on like a chainsaw or something properly taken care of, that will help you. Double check before you're using the power tool, examine it closely. If you find any issues, don't use it before repairing. We don't want to be like, got this vent saw here, but man, it's got like, the bar is all wiggly on it, it's kind of messed up. Oh well, I'm just gonna cut anyway. What do you think's gonna happen if we just continue to cut and utilize it like that?
You're gonna hurt yourself or break it.
Yeah, you're gonna hurt yourself, you're gonna break it, you're gonna hurt somebody else. So, all safety-minded consciousness before. Follow instructions. Every power tool should come with instructions, right? Guess what the world has now? Google, the internet. If you don't even have that safety manual, but you need to learn safety stuff on that, or learn the proper usage of some sort of tool, what can you do with those lovely devices you have in your phone, your hands? Look it up. So then you can learn that stuff for yourself to greaten your knowledge and help you be safer. Use the right tools. Use the right size, the shape, the tools for the job. Just like Captain Bowler was talking about a little bit ago, you don't want to use the wood blade in the saw, correct?
No.
Because that, if you're using it to cut metal, that's not going to go well, but you don't want to use the metal when you're cutting the wood. So you want to get that done appropriately. Never keep your power tools in contact with heat, oil, or liquids. Always store in a safe place before storing. Make sure it is turned off. So when we're talking about that, let's talk about our trucks. When we are storing them in our trucks, we want to make sure that, we got the compartment there. What should you check underneath that tool before you put it in there?
If there's any spills of anything, or
Yeah, if there's any spills, any oil, anything leaking out. If it's the hydraulic tools, do we want to make sure that hydraulic oil is not spilled all over the place? Yeah, so we want to take all of those precautions, and if something is on it, if you've been in an emergency scene and you have, let's say you got your spreaders, and they ended up getting oil and stuff from the car all over them, they might have blood and stuff all over them, should you just fling those bad boys back in the compartment?
No.
No, why not?
Contaminate everything else in the compartment.
It's gonna contaminate everything else in the compartment. What are some other reasons?
If it's moisture, they start rusting.
Could rust it. What about, for that next person who goes to pull those out?
Just to get another call, it's
It's not
not gonna be ready to
gonna be ready to be used. That person could just be doing truck checks, pull it out and get, like blood on themselves if they had it on there. If it was oily, it could slip out of their hands, fall. Where's it gonna probably fall? On your feet, get somebody hurt. So all that is important stuff we need to do. So then we're back to what we wear, right? We want to keep your face, your eyes protected. Use goggles, use face mask if needed. Keep your feet safe. Use dry shoes. Try to stay away from noise pollution and other earbuds is what this one says, but so there's 3 of us that have been in the fire service for quite some time in here. How many times a day do you think you say huh?
all the time.
All the time. Why? Because when we were young, we were dumb and we never protected our ears. And so my best advice to you is to protect your ears. If you're wearing, power tool, backpack blower, is that a power tool?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were out in the woods blowing a line in on a natural cover fire, what do you think you should have in your ears?
Ear protection.
Some ear protection. I mean, it'd be great to have some of the ones that your radio go to so you can hear it, but even if it's just the little foam inserts, those are all great things to have to protect your hearing as your aging goes on, because I will tell you, it's one thing you don't think about when you're younger at your age, and now that you're our age, it's something that you think about a lot, because you need to protect your hearing. We're already subject to a lot of noise anyway, being inside the trucks and everything. We have hearing protection inside there, but still, it's best to protect it the best you can.
I know whenever I started, we didn't have headsets in the trucks. I rode in an open back cab, so the sirens were just screaming. I'm sitting right next to a diesel engine running. That thing was screaming, and I'm paying for it today, definitely. You go out on a brush fire, you don't put no earplugs in or some kind of earmuffs or something. Doesn't seem like much at first, but wait until you're running that blower for a couple hours, just constantly. You shut it off and your ears are ringing for a while after that. You guys try to protect your hearing, protect your eyes. You only get 2 eyes, 2 ears. Make sure you wear protection. You don't want to be without an eye, or you don't want to be not able to hear.
Does
This
anybody know someone who has only one good eye and can't drive a truck?
Chief.
Okay. Yes, let's not be like him. We don't want everybody laughing at us when we wreck the truck way too much when we're older, okay? Like, when you're cutting on cars, you have those safety glasses, you have the goggles, you have the porch, you have the shield, whatever you have, put it down and utilize it. Just a little piece of glass can bounce up and get in your eye.
So are Borks approved? Are those good?
No.
What are you supposed to have with forks?
Safety glasses.
Safety glasses, yeah.
Safety glasses or goggles?
Goggles. Like I told you guys before, I wear sunglasses. These are safety sunglasses. So I wear them a lot. Now at night, I've got a different pair that's clear that I can wear. So it's just a good idea. Even whenever you're walking through the woods, sticks and stuff come flying by. So protect them.
We can't forget to protect our what?
Fingers.
Our little digits. Nobody wants to be missing one of those, right? Protect those and make sure that you have those, you have your gloves on, everything like that, because even just a small scrape can cause you to have to go get stitches. Guess what? You guys don't want to be off the truck, right? You've been sitting in this class for too long. You guys are hoping to get on that truck, right?
Yes.
Do you want to be off the truck and be stuck doing Monday through Friday and having to do whatever the chiefs tell you to do? No.
Trust me, you don't.
Okay, so we're at a very inherently dangerous job. So whatever you can do to protect yourself the most is the best to move forward.
So we were talking about storage. Your batteries and stuff like that, you want to make sure you're not putting those in where there's oil and gas. You don't want to be charging them in there. So if somebody mistakenly puts a gas can in that compartment, you want to make sure you take that out, right? We do detailed cleaning on the trucks, right? That's why, to make sure that oil and all that stuff's cleaned out of there. That way it's safer. You don't have all that extra oil in there. The tools are clean. It helps us go through and look at the tools too. Because there's tools down there that we don't take off the truck like hardly ever, right?
Yeah.
But if you go through and do a detailed cleaning and you're pulling everything off, setting it down, you're looking at it. How many of you guys have went through the trucks and found things that you were like, wow, what's this?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's stuff stuffed away in there, and if you don't use it, you're not gonna know. But if you go in there and do your cleaning, you'll find that kind of stuff.
Are we good with safety? Anybody have any questions over safety? Or any suggestions maybe we didn't hit on that you guys think could be a good idea?
Another good thing for a corded power tool is a good habit is to unplug it when you're not using it. You step away, walk away, kid can come up or someone else could pull the trigger and cut themselves.
That's a good idea. Yeah, we talked about earlier when we were doing stuff around here in tours about how everybody just shows up out of the blue, right, and wants a tour. Well, let's say Nick was downstairs working on a project of some sort. He had a saw out, got a call, he leaves, it's sitting on the bay floor. That happens, right? That could easily happen. Somebody else does a tour, doesn't know that was going on, takes a kid downstairs, and this kid picks it up and, ooh, what kind of public perception do you guys think that is gonna give us? Not very good. It would all be a completely honest mistake, but it could happen, so that's a great point. Yes, sir?
What makes extrication gloves? Like, why is there special?
This is a,
Okay, so if you get true extrication gloves, they're gonna have the different layers in them, just like your structured gloves and everything else. They're gonna be cut resistant, bloodborne pathogens. They are made for extrication. Now, yeah, you can go get a leather pair of gloves, bloodborne pathogen, it's not gonna be in there. Is it really cut resistant? No, not really. But extrication gloves are truly cut resistant, bloodborne, that kind of stuff. That's why you should use those kind of gloves.
and a lot of them have extra padding like around the knuckles. and
Around the
stuff, correct?
knuckles and on the palms. So whenever you're using those power tools, some of them, you know, you get vibration from.
Alright, so we're gonna do like kind of a class discussion part to kind of get your guys's opinion and input of different things that you have seen that could maybe be helpful for us also. So, what are some ways that we utilize power tools in the fire service that they are also utilized in normal life?
Kind of like we talked about earlier, just, you know, we have saws and drills and stuff like that, so if you're building something fire service, same can be putting something together at home or different things like that. It's all the same use, but they can be used for the same things, obviously with fire department, we just use it in a little bit different ways sometimes than we would at home. Instead of cutting wood, we're cutting a bus.
Yeah. If you guys think that all these chairs in here came put together, you're wrong.
They did.
Notoriously, you know, firefighters, we don't hire stuff out to be done. Usually we try, if we can do it ourselves, we do it ourselves. So when stuff gets brought in, if it needs to be put together, I know Chief Amsinger just put together a shelf the other day by himself of something that we needed. That it's just something that we do, is attempt to put stuff together and take care of stuff on our own. So yeah, just like if you bought new furniture, like Trey having a baby, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had to build a baby furniture yet?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you had to pull out those power tools probably, didn't
Yes,
you?
I did.
Way better than using that little Allen wrench they
Yes.
give you to do. So, just like at home, we do those same things here.
Did you have any extra parts?
Yeah.
Parts.
I looked at the manual and it said there were supposed to be extra parts, so
Oh,
so
okay.
So
it's
you
like
feel-
replacement screws. So.
You feel confident then?
I don't know if I feel more confident in my building skills or the instructions that they gave me, but
Have you tried getting into the bed and making sure it holds up?
I'm a big man. I don't trust my building skills that much. That's a baby crib.
Nick Davis, did you have any other way?
I mean, I was just gonna go more specific into tools, like a certain tool, which is chainsaw, how we use chainsaw for on the civilian side for cutting trees, making firewood, you know, that kind of stuff, but we also use it for fire lines, forestry, cutting down trees to vertical ventilation, taking out windows and everything else.
So what are some things you should be checking on that chainsaw?
Anything from fuel, bar oil, your bar itself, your chain itself.
Make
you know,
sure it's sharp, right?
CMT on it, yeah, making sure your chain is sharp, so.
Making sure your chain's going the right direction?
That is,
It's
yes.
important, right?
It's
So,
very
Yeah.
important, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of guys put them on backwards, and then you're out there cutting, and you're like, what's wrong with this saw?
It's brand new chain.
And it's
why is
like, oh, well, the chain's on there backwards.
and
It
when we go downstairs, we'll look at that. And there's kind of, we went through like this very change in the fire service to where it used to be when people came to us, they had a lot of those skills, okay? So like Jake, I'll use you for instance, right? Grew up on a farm. So Jake probably has a lot of these skills, and when guys would come to us, we just assumed everybody had these skills. Well, then we came to find out that as the years go on, not everybody gets those skills anymore. I mean, we had a person come one day who did not know the difference in between a Phillips screwdriver and a flathead screwdriver.
And didn't even know how to turn it.
Yes, didn't
Like
know
how to
how you
tighten or how to
would do a
loosen.
screw.
And that's pretty common with a lot of the younger guys. But
So,
to their defense, whenever I was in school, I had wood shop. Girls had to take wood shop. I had to take home ec. You know, there's guys coming here, they can't even cook a meal because they've never had to. So, you know, it's different times, and it's hard for us older people. We kind of struggle with it because we're used to everybody knowing this stuff, and then all these kids are coming in, it's like, oh, you don't know how to turn that screwdriver.
to us, it's common knowledge. So to us, it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're just, for us, it's like you're messing with us, you know, like you're trying to pull some practical joke on us of, and you really might not know how to use it.
They don't know how to use lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, nothing. They've never had to do it.
And so then when you're getting into the more complicated things, such as chainsaws and stuff like that, it's really important, and it's a thing that we want to talk about and make sure. So if we're downstairs, and honestly, if you're downstairs and there is something that you're like, I have no clue how to do this. Let's just say Isaac, you say, I have no clue how to put on a chainsaw blade, okay? Let us know, because we would love to show you then and make sure you're doing it right. And it might be something little that, you know, as through your training gets skipped, because for us it's common knowledge, so why should we have to show you how to do that? But for you it's not, and that's okay. That we could show you, and then I'd much rather show you there than it be an emergency scene and we're trying to show you how to operate something. Does that make sense?
Me personally, I'm probably not gonna show you on the scene.
No, he's gonna
I'm gonna
probably
be like,
yell.
get out of my way, I'll do it myself. You know,
It might not be that nicely either.
it may not be, but I've got a reputation to uphold, so.
Well, I don't have to do none of that stuff, change any blades and anything, so when we go down there, I'm definitely gonna need to be showing all of it, so.
Perfect.
Help you out with that.
And you know,
I
that's,
thought you've done construction.
I have, but I mean, it's been like, we're like building house and stuff, so I mean, it's like circular saws, like chainsaws, don't work chainsaws and stuff like that, but.
well, see, and it's like stuff that I was very much so a tomboy, obviously, probably why I chose my profession, but that's stuff that my dad just taught me. Like, my dad just, we went out, we did these things, he taught me that. If you ask my sister to change a chainsaw blade, not gonna be able to do it. If you even ask her how to start a chainsaw, no clue. And that's not just like, oh, well, cause we're girls, you know, my nephew, no way. He still can't figure out a drill, okay? And I think the drill might be the easiest power tool you can utilize. He can't figure it out. It's, if, in their house, if they don't hang things up with command strips, they're not hanging up on the wall. So, but there's a lot of different and it's okay. It's okay if you don't know how to do something. We would much rather show you, like I would much rather somebody say, I don't know how to do that, than later on we put you in an unsafe position because you didn't know how to do something. Alright, so what are some ways we utilize power tools that are just unique to the fire service? Something that nobody else, when they got a power tool, would think, oh, I didn't think you could use it for that.
We vent roofs.
Cut holes in roofs.
Yeah, cut holes in roofs.
And Christmas lights.
Oh, we do hang Christmas lights, you are correct there. I can only imagine that Lieutenant Hirsch used some sort of power tool to hang those Christmas lights. What else?
Using them to cut open doors, like if you need to make a cut into a door to see the, like if there's a wooden bar holding it down, you can lift that bar.
We cut up cars, right?
Yeah.
That's something a normal person doesn't do.
And they don't use the tools we use either.
No. We get to a garage We can't get the garage door open, what are we gonna do to it?
K-12.
K-12.
Yeah, you think some normal person is gonna just go up and be like, oh, I can't get in, and just go at it? No.
Is there anything else you can use to get that door open?
Like a sawzall.
Sawzall, X.
Truck.
Depends on how hard you wanna work.
What about a spreader?
Yeah.
Jam it in at the bottom. You keep raising it, what's gonna happen? It's either gonna buckle or the latch is gonna give away.
Yeah.
So you should do it closer to the ends, and then you'll make that latch pop.
Never thought of that.
Wealth of knowledge, you know.
Oh, no.
Because then if I do that, instead of cutting a hole, what do I have now? When I open that door, I can close that door. I got door control, right? So. I mean, obviously, if there's fire blowing out, it doesn't matter at that point, but if we're gonna use it and we need to close it back up.
So, what are some power tools that we do not have at our department that you guys think could be helpful for the fire service? And if so, how would you utilize that tool?
That window, that little thing. Like it goes on like a drill and it like takes a ribbon of glass.
Okay? Funny you said that because when I was putting this together, Chief Johnson said one of you would bring up that window tool. They really want this window tool, I'm guessing, from listening to
It's
this.
cool.
Yeah, the Rhino,
Yeah.
that's one they
Yeah.
got. Yeah, I mean, it makes quick work of a windshield, I'll tell
Taking
you.
a
A lot
tire
better
and
than
fill
sitting
it
there.
out. Well, the other thing is it doesn't spray as much like glass shrapnel everywhere. Like
Mhm.
it
Well,
doesn't as much.
It's
As
still
much.
throwing it up there, just really fast.
Rabbit tool.
Rabbit tool, okay? We have one of
We have
those,
a rabbit
correct, in the
tool.
back end of 912? He might not know that, but
Right.
yes, we do
I
have
know.
we have a rabbit tool in the back end of 912.
We don't, so that,
Well, you need to tell Lefton to get on it, we're cooler than them, I don't know.
we just use brute force.
Brute force. Alright, what else you guys think?
We're starting to make like battery powered like ratchets and like half inch on 3/8, like the mechanical side. So that can help with projects and stuff. I
Good.
think those are really neat, transitioning from air to just battery powered like impacts and stuff.
So do we ever need to use stuff like that on a call, like sockets and stuff like that?
Potentially.
Sure, I mean, sometimes we may have to take something apart. Screwdriver in your pocket comes in real handy.
A
It's not
multi-tool.
It's not a power one, but I'll tell you what, how many guys know about furnaces? One guy. One guy.
He's our HVAC guy.
Yeah, it is.
I done HVAC before I got in fire service, and I'll tell you what, it has helped me out on so many calls. When you get, oh, there's a funny smell, when you go take the furnace apart, look inside, and sometimes you can shut stuff off so we can leave it. It's good knowledge, I mean, carrying them tools in your pocket though, it helps a lot. Or if not, then you gotta run out to the truck, come back in, run out to the truck, come back in.
Screwdriver or something in your pocket when you're doing even a Knox box. So we all know the Knox boxes, right? Have you guys gotten any lessons at all on that Knox boxes? Oh, perfect. So Knox boxes are the little boxes outside of our businesses that have keys locked inside of them. And you guys have seen in the trucks the Knox box where you put in the code and get the key out and work it, right? You guys will need to speak with Captain Bowen to get your code put into the Knox box. That'll be something we'll have to make sure that we get taken care of. But take the key out, you go and unlock it. Well, sometimes those older Knox boxes, guess what happens?
They don't work.
Well, they work, but they get stuck. And a lot of times what gets stuck is there's a gasket that holds it to keep it dry inside there. And because of the heating and the cooling and the heating and the cooling in our area, that gasket gets stuck. So a lot of times if you can get the key to turn, the tumbler turns, but you're still not getting it open. If you have a multi-tool or a flathead screwdriver or something you can put in there and pop it, just kind of relieve that pressure from that gasket. It'll help open that Knox box up, which is way better because then If you don't have any problems and you're just doing like an alarm sounding, you have no problems, you haven't broke down their door or destroyed any of their property, you can lock everything back up. And if you do have a fire in there, but we use the key, guess what? We still have that what?
Door control.
Door control. Seems like that's very important, doesn't it? To be able to maintain and keep that door control.
And if
So-
there's a fire inside and it didn't break through any windows or anything, we could still secure the building, lock it up, leave.
So all very important things. So it's little stuff that you don't think of tools that maybe can come in handy, but that would be interesting to see those battery powered ratchets and stuff. Anybody else got any other tools, I think?
Just kind of going back on the furnace side, but
No, go for it.
in the screwdriver, they make them 7-in-1
6-in-1,
screwdrivers, yeah,
yeah.
6-in-1s, and, most of them, usually when you pop out the flathead or the Phillips, it turns into a nut driver, and within AC and heating, there's like 2 sizes, universal, that they all use, and those nut drivers are the same size as that, so it's important, that's a good tool to have.
That's a great tool. So I carry a little tool bag in my Tahoe that obviously for inspections, you would think I have to use different tools than you guys. I guess I have a few different tools, like you guys are not gonna have testers, outlet testers and stuff like that. But yes, that 6-7-in-1 screwdriver, that is my best friend. I use that thing every day. When I'm out on inspections, there's always something, especially dock inspections, because we will remove cover plates and stuff and look and see what's inside. When I'm doing electrical inspections, if the electrical panel's already on it, I gotta remove that cover off of it to look and see how they did the wiring and everything inside. So that is a wonderful tool that I carry, and I carry one in there, and a multi-tool, and I always carry a multi-tool and one of those multi-screwdrivers in my pants pocket of my bunker pants too.
Yeah, I got a 6-in-1 and a pair of wire cutters I carry in my bunker gear. Why the wire cutters?
Cause you get caught up.
Cut up the wires, you can, yep. And with the newer houses, they use that, piping that's got the wire in it,
MC cable?
MC cable. Yeah, you gotta cut through that stuff all the time, cause it melts and then it's hanging down in your way.
What do you guys carry in your pants? Everybody, Kate, what do you carry?
Right now I have webbing, screwdriver, cutters. I think that's just about it.
Okay, Matt, what do you got?
Webbing, wire cutters, and an extra pair of gloves.
Okay, Nick?
My Lebanon stuff, nothing really. My hazel green stuff, I have a pair of dikes with cutter on it, screwdriver, and webbing. So
Alright, you better get some stuff for that.
I haven't really done anything with it. So, I mean, besides my bailout in it. So
Trey, what do you got?
Webbing and sometimes a fixed blade,
A fixed blade, what do you mean by that?
like
I
a
don't know what
knife
that
with a
means.
fixed blade on the end of it, so
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't like fold up.
Nick?
Total and everything, webbing, carabiner, sprinkler wedges.
Woo! Look at him, he's bringing out those sprinkler wedges. You ordered those, didn't you?
I did it.
Okay.
6-in-1 wire cutters. I want to get like a entry kit, forcible entry kit.
Forcible entry kit.
That's got the pick and all that stuff.
Those
Because
are
there's
good.
been times where we've gone on calls where it's, a fall or something, and they can't get to the front door. Well, instead of breaking their door down, try the, I forget what it's called, with that sheet.
The little,
you can
yeah.
wedge in there.
They also make that it's not paper, but it's plastic and it rolls up.
That's
and
what I'm talking
yeah,
about,
that
yeah.
thing, and you can,
Yeah.
Firefighter swipe
So,
tool.
swipe tool, thank you. So
Uh,
trying that before you have to.
forcible entry is definitely not my forte, but I do know about those. Jake, what do you got?
Extra gloves, webbing, cutters, and then, belt wedges.
KV?
Weapon, screwdriver, window punch, seatbelt cutter.
Okay. Isaac?
Webbing, screwdriver, wire cutters, flashlights.
Good. Yeah, it's always good to have to have stuff in there. I can tell you, a screwdriver and some sort of cutting device will help you in the long run. And it probably needs to be something you can easily just snip, because you don't wanna sit there trying to, in the dark, poke yourself, stab yourself, anything of that nature if you're caught up on stuff inside. Time is of the essence, so the quicker you can get it done, the better.
So I also carry spare batteries,
I'm figuring square footage included garage, right?
spanner wrench, I've got a spanner wrench in there, trauma shears, you know, those are all good tools to have in your pockets. Extrication gloves. And then I also have just a pair of leather gloves, cause after a fire, sometimes rolling hose and stuff, I'd rather just put on a pair of leather gloves and roll hose.
And your structure gloves are pretty well toast at that
Pretty
point.
nasty at that point, yeah.
So what safety measures with power tools do you think we need to be more diligent about? And you guys see us work here every day. What do you guys think we all need to be, like, take your time to criticize us? What do you guys think? And I don't mean just us in general, I mean like
As a
generalized,
department.
as a department. What do you guys think we should be more diligent about that we're not?
Hearing protection.
Hearing protection is a big one, you're right.
So probably eye protection too.
Eye protection?
Yeah, squinting doesn't work. That's good.
Doesn't work as good.
I was thinking another,
If you had a-
get another battery charger, cause I know they just put that one on 11, so if you had another one put on 12, the other engine, I feel like that would help out, just have extra batteries just constantly flowing for both engines in case.
Mm-hmm.
Gloves, I think we're pretty lax on wearing gloves when we're doing truck checks, doing stuff like that. You're reaching in there, grabbing stuff out. If you get used to wearing gloves all the time, you're gonna wear them all the time.
What about car accidents? I know we have some crews that are very lax on wearing their
High vis,
gear.
high vis vest.
Yes, make sure you have on the vest, make sure you have on, if you're doing the cut and everything, that you have on your gear, because it's there for your safety. And if you get hurt while you're trying to cut someone else out, you're not doing them any good, you're just giving us, the rest of everybody else, more work to do. So we have to try to keep it as safe as we can for everyone. So let's try to be more diligent of making sure on motor vehicle accidents and stuff like that, that we are, or anything, you know, anything that you're wearing your full gear. And it's not just one person, everybody kinda gets way too lax, more lax than they should about it. So you guys are the younger generation, you gotta help kick us old guys in line. Yes, sir?
Would you say that for the driver and operator also wear full PPE? Because usually they are just wearing their pants.
So it depends on what they're doing, but yes, I would still say yes, okay? Because let's even take a structure fire or a car accident, either one. If somebody gets hurt or something goes wrong or somebody needs to grab in there, and that person is the person who has to come, the more stuff they have on, guess what?
Less time it takes.
Less time it takes for them to go and help. And nobody wants to see our buddy or somebody else be hurt or anything like that, right? So we wanna be there and get to them as quickly as we can to help them.
I know on wrecks in the summertime around here, it's miserable. Yeah, it's 100 degrees outside, you got all your bunker gear on, you're standing out there. But you know, now there's more people. Whenever I first started, there was me and one other guy. So we pretty much had to be bunkered up and going the whole time. Now we can kind of rotate through some people and give people a break, go get a drink, you know, if it's a long extrication. I've been on long extrications, 45 minutes, an hour, cutting somebody out of a car. It's brutal when it's hot outside. So I know it's miserable, but that's kind of what we signed up for, is to be there and have our stuff on and get the job done.
And safety first, 100% all the time, safety first. We want to make sure, I would speak for all of our officers, but I can guarantee you for the three of us in this room, our highest priority is for you to go home to your family the next day.
That is my #1 job,
That,
is to make sure you go home.
I will tell you, any of you guys get like severely hurt under my watch, it will destroy me. So my goal is for you to make it home. I want your goal for me to make it home. So the best thing we can do, the safer we can be while we're doing it, the better.
So how do you feel about dual cert gear?
Dual cert
As far
gear?
as like, yeah, as far as.
I think dual cert gear is good. I have a set. It's great in the summertime when you don't have to put all that heavy bunker gear on to do an auto extrication. But it is an added cost. So. But definitely whenever it's hot out, it's good to have it.
So do you bring both sets to MJ?
Yeah, normally I do.
Do you bring it to both, would you bring it to a fire as well?
I don't bring my dual cert gear to a fire normally. I'll just leave it hanging in my locker. But if I'm going to a motor vehicle accident or something, I'll throw it on.
So
And you can use that for brush fires too, so.
So as far as like percentage wise, if something was to like, come shooting off the car or a blade come off the saw, like what percentage do you think the dual cert gear versus bunker gear? Like what do you?
The dual cert gear is going to be cut resistant. It's got Nomex and Kevlar and stuff like that in it. So it is gonna protect you. You're not gonna have the padding that you'd have with your bunker gear. But there's actually nothing that says you have to have that padding to do auto extrication. But you do have to have protection.
Is cut resistant like the main kind of requirement for
Yes.
extrication stuff?
Yes.
I say we don't even carry, wildland gear. We just, our dual
You use
cert
dual
is,
cert, yeah.
so like we don't, not buying all that extra wildland gear kind of helps us carry into having the dual cert to use for both, vehicle
How much-
extrication.
How much wildland do you guys do in it?
Truthfully, a good amount.
Do you?
Well, we're the only paid department in the whole county, so we are auto to
A lot of other
every-
places?
Yes.
Oh, I'm just like, I really didn't know. I was just curious on that one.
And the dual cert gear, I like it for doing extrication. I don't like it for wildland firefighting.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the actual wildland clothes, just cause they fit a little better, not quite as baggy on me and stuff, so.
Mhm.
It's, you know, how it's fit, that's the main thing.
All right. You guys have any questions? Cause we got answers. Ha ha ha. Anything?
So for the maintenance for power tools, so say I'm checking out like the vent saw on engine 12, I'm looking at it, I notice I'm like, man, this thing's a little questionable, so I bring it to whoever, and then they tell me, yeah, you know, put it out of service right now, like we'll fix it later. So then, do we more than often have the things to fix like 99% of the problems with our power tools here, or do we have like specialists we have to send certain things off for?
Certain things will have to go to a shop and get fixed, just depends on what it is. Some things, if you take it apart, you just voided the warranty, so it depends on how old it is.
So then we talked about like, some of the impacts and the ratchets and stuff. How do we go about, introducing the idea of getting some for the department?
When you guys get to your shift, go to your captain or lieutenant and kind of go there and kind of show them the idea, and then let it work its way up. Basically, you're gonna have to try to sell them, they're gonna have to try to sell chief, and go from there.
And you're in the fire service, it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
So don't expect to come with this great idea today and tomorrow we're gonna have it. It could be a year, it could be 2 years. And I know you're looking at it thinking, well, it's a small thing. But you gotta look at the whole picture of the fire department, how much money we take in, what we gotta spend on what, you know. We got a lot of equipment to take care of, so sometimes those little things you don't think, you're like, wow, what's the big deal? It's only like $100. Well, that's $100, that's $100, that's $100, that's $100. It starts adding up really quick, so don't get too uptight about it, you know, just hey, you know, if you hand it to me today, week goes by or so, say, hey Cap, did you have any luck with that, or what are we doing on that? Just follow up with it, but don't get all upset if it doesn't happen.
All right, so we're gonna go downstairs, and we are going to do a practical skills portion where we're gonna again look at the safety of things. We'll go over properly starting everything. Probably not everything, so if there's anything you for sure have questions on, make sure you let us know, but we're gonna properly start some of the different tools, proper care for some of the tools, and proper like utilizing them and having them. So if there's one that you really wanna know about, then we will for sure work on that one, look at that one. Do not be shy to tell us, because this is the time to check it out and see what we have going. Yes, sir.
So for like chainsaws, like what is the padding called that you have to wear?
Chaps.
Yeah, do you have to wear that if you have bunker gear on?
No, you're fucking
No.
good.
So is that just for wildland?
That's for wildland. You do not have to wear chaps if you're going up to a roof to do that.
The only thing those chaps are used for is it binds up the chain itself, the chain inside the main spindle.
Will our bunker gear bind up?
Yes. That doesn't mean you won't get cut, but it's gonna bind it up and slow it down.
Be less cut up.
Yes. Nothing's totally 100%, you're not gonna get hurt. So just remember that whenever you're cutting stuff, watch where the saw's going. Make sure you don't get it in a bind whenever you're cutting trees. See a lot of guys do that, and then they're over there trying to beat on this tree to get the saw blade out. It's not pretty. All right, let's get ready to go downstairs. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go over some different tools. Each one of you guys have volunteered to show us a tool and how it works. So we'll start with you.
Alright everyone, I'm Firefighter Nick, and go over the chainsaw. So first off, I want to make sure I have the correct tool for what I'm going to be doing. And out. Alright, so I have my scrunch, or my little flat-headed ratchet tool. I'm going to make sure I also have my eye protection and gloves, hand protection. So first, take off the safety, off my sheath. I'm going to look around on the whole saw, just kind of seeing if there's any kind of CMT, any major damage. Not really seeing any, a little bit of wear, but you know, of course we would see that. I'm going to check fuel first. Alright, it's full. And then my bar oil. Alright, it's full. Putting these back on is always a fun time. Big thing is making sure you're putting this on correctly, or else go to put this back up and you have bar oil everywhere, or fuel. There we go. Got it. Did not get it on.
Need help?
Maybe.
This is why we picked this. What's with that?
I think the line of those was.
That's
You can break it up.
Was it messed up before you opened it?
It didn't seem like it. Opened up just fine. Oh. Man, it looks like it's in one of them, just don't. So once you pop that down,
You got it.
Okay, you got it, perfect.
Alright.
The right finesse, that's what you need, alright?
Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work, guys. Alright, so now I'm starting. Alright, make sure my brake's on. Before starting it, you can always check, try and move the chain. Does it move? Alright, choke it. Make sure there's not a fuel bulb or anything else. Some different models, sometimes you have it. Alright, at this point, I like to put my foot down on the bottom and go ahead and crank. Now, say if I did have something wrong with my chain, if it's too loose, came off or anything like that, so I'm going to go into my PMCS. Go ahead and take this off. So that bigger side of your scrunch will take off these two bolts. So I take these all the way off. Say if my chain came off. If you're out in the woods doing this, make sure you know where those bolts go. Alright, so they're off. So now, up and over, good also maintenance thing is open this up, check for debris, anything like that in it. A little dirty, nothing too crazy. Go through, take a towel. You don't want to have it extremely dry. You want to keep that bar oil going through it. So now I'm going to check the tightness. So on top, I want my teeth, everyone can see that shorter part up front, the longer, bigger, sharper tooth going that way on the top bar. Does that make sense? Everyone see it? So cool. So now you just saw how my chain got loose. Moved here. So there is one. Thank you. There's one. I always called it. It's a nipple down here. You gotta get that hole on the bar just right in that. That's your tensioner. So you take your flat end screwdriver. And this is what's going to kind of move it back and forth. So now I'm on. Sometimes you got to take it off to look at which way you're going. So I'm trying to loosen it right now so I can get the bar back on and then tighten it back down. So. so I'm around that rear sprocket. I have the nipple in the hole on the bar. It's the fun part.
You wanna help holding that up then?
Yeah, if you wanna hold that up for me. This part usually is a two-person. Oh shoot. I have to pull it. Not too tight. Yeah. There you go. Alright, so he's holding that bar flat for me, so we can keep the chain in the groove. Hold it down. There we go. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna tighten it up. So when you're tightening it up, you wanna make sure your teeth are staying inside the groove of the bar, or else you'll get it tightened up and you'll have to redo it. Alright, from here, it's not tightened all the way down, that's fine. Go ahead and put your base plate on, that's gonna hold it.
Am I supposed to be doing this every truck too?
No.
No, but you should be going through checking the oil, checking the gas, making sure the chain's not loose.
Running it.
Would you say that might be like a monthly thing that we do, is maybe take that plate off or maybe look underneath or?
Yeah, I mean, I'd look up in there to see if there's stuff in there, and then you see some stuff taken apart. Like normally, if we're not running brush fires, we know they haven't been used. But if it comes back from a brush fire and you see there's a bunch of small dust caked up on it, take it apart and get it ready to go.
Alright, now at this point, it's not all the way tightened down. So my two bolts right here are not tightened down all the way. See how this is really, really loose? You usually only want, I'm gonna do off the top. You only want about, it'd be kind of hard to see with my fingers, the tooth just right on the top of that bar. Okay, you want a little bit of give, but you don't want anything too crazy. You don't want it to where those teeth can come up and out of that bar. That's how on the tip, if you're doing something, too much pressure, too much bend, anything like that will pull it out. So, at this point, since I didn't tighten these bolts down all the way, I can still move my bar back and forth, which will tighten it up. As you see, moving it and that chain on the bottom, get nice and tight. Come down here on the bottom, pull it down. I want a little bit more. Pull it again. One more about half turn, and I should be good. Alright, yep, I'm liking that. So now I'm going to tighten it down all the way. So that's something good to know. If you know your bar or your chain comes off, or just a little bit, part of it comes off, you can just barely loosen these up, move around your bar, put your chain back on, go right on your day. Nice and tight. Chain back up. And, all right, let's break. Moves just fine. At this point now, I put fuel back in it, bar oil back in it, just top it off, sheathe it, put it back on the truck, done.
You guys have any questions about the chainsaw?
Anything?
Nope, nobody?
Would it benefit if the blade was the other way, like the teeth were facing the other way for any job?
No, because all your cutting power. If you look closely on it, all of your cutting power is right there on the inside of that. So if that's backwards, now you're cutting with the back end of it.
So as long as the small teeth in front of the long teeth, that's the right way.
On the top part, top of the
On the
bar.
top part, long, short. I can remember that.
And a lot of chains, a lot of them will have arrows on them, whether you can find them or not. So, but yeah, it's very easy to put them on backwards. Anything else?
Good job, man.
Your job. Who's up next?
Who's up next?
Next guy, I'll go over the Sawzall here.
This is also
I'm also a firefighter, Nick. So we're going over the Sawzall today. This is a DeWalt battery powered tool. This is the battery. There's different sizes. Main thing you want to kind of match up though is the voltage. Some batteries will have a battery indicator on the back here. You got 3 bars, so in this case it's completely charged. Put the battery in, it'll click. On the side here, you'll have a little lever. All right, see that? That is how you insert the blade. If it's closed, you will not be able to lock the blade in. So you lift up the lever, close it. If the blade, well, I think this one actually does have problems. Okay, so it's locked in there. You can switch the blade over and flip it to the other side if cutting that way is easier. Right here. So it's locked. There is a lock button for the trigger. Right now it is locks kind of similar to a gun, it's unsafe. And when you unlock it, that's when you can use it. When you let go, it stops. And then yeah, it's a good measure to always lock it when you're not using it, just in case someone bends down to grab it, they're not grabbing it from the trigger and cut themselves. It's kind of the main thing.
How do I take the blade out?
Taking the blade out, same thing. You'll pull up the lever. I like to grab it from the top because obviously the teeth's on the bottom, and after you're done cutting, that blade will be very hot, so just keep that in mind. As we were talking about in class, there's different blades for different materials. Wood, but just by looking at it, if you can't see, like right now it's all rubbed off. If you have really close, small teeth, that's usually for metal. And if you have bigger, more spaced out teeth, that's usually for wood. So if everything's rubbed off, you can kind of get a good idea of what kind of blade it is by looking at the teeth.
What kind of blade is that one in your head?
I would say it's probably metal, or maybe a universal.
The rescue.
And that's
So,
about it.
is there anything else that we should be looking for on that whenever we're checking it?
Of course, you just want to make sure everything is safe. You don't have anything wearing off. Yeah, go ahead.
Cause something ever get locked up in that, port with the blade.
In here? Yeah, it can. As you can see, there's quite a big opening in there. So there's definitely ways to get stuff kind of gunked up down in there. So when we're maintaining these tools, kind of look around, make sure everything's flowing freely.
Is there a way to get it for your Sawzall blade when that then it locks in, when it snaps off? Is there a way to get that out, or you just kind of leave it shut?
What do you mean? Say it again? If it's were to break while I'm putting it in?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you can probably get if it breaks, I would use a pair of like needle nose pliers, hold on to that and unlatch it just like you normally would.
And a lot of times if you just use the lock and kind of shake it,
Or that too, yeah.
it'll fall out.
Yeah.
So what should I be checking on my battery?
Making sure it's full, making sure like the voltages kind of match up to the tool that it requires. Making sure you don't have anything like bulging batteries, any signs that it could be malfunctioning. If it's not holding a charge, you might want to have the battery service replaced or whatever. Yeah, big thing is the insides kind of really aren't being exposed due to wear and tear.
So you say that's got an indicator on it?
It does, yes.
So when should I change that out?
Honestly, if it goes down to one more bar, so if it's got 2 bars left, I would recommend swapping it out. Because if you go on scene and you've got 1 bar left, you might get it could be close to dying. And I don't want to get to a scene and have a dead battery.
But a lot of times whenever you're putting it under power, doesn't it drain a lot quicker?
Yes. Yeah. So I like to have going into a scene with 3 bars, a full battery.
Who's next?
Nice, you go.
Firefighter Isaac, I'll be starting at K-12. So, as always, truck checks, you're gonna look for CMT, chemical, mechanical, thermal damage. Just make sure everything's looking right. You're also gonna be checking the gas, and we use mixed. Looking good. So when I'm starting in, this needs to be good. This needs to be pushed down, and then it needs to be choked. And then you put your foot on the handle. Stop it. Push this red stop lever towards there. That's about all I know about the K-12. I've just started it a couple times during truck checks, full truck checks. I have not used it yet.
So what are some things I should be looking for on that?
Chemical, mechanical, thermal damage, and wear.
Well, that all sounds good, but what am I looking at? What should I be looking at?
I would be looking at the saw, like the blade itself, making sure there's nothing like warped or bent.
Cracks?
Yeah. This one's looking fine and dandy.
So what's the little blue switch up there for?
This one? I'm not sure.
Does anybody know what that little blue switch is for?
I know that you can have either wet or dry K-12. That should be a dry one, but if you have the wet one, that would be the.
That's exactly what it's for, so you can add water to that. What would you have water for if you're gutting? What would you need water for? Concrete.
Keeping the
Concrete.
concrete cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Concrete, it keeps the dust down, helps keep the blade cool.
So where'd you connect the water to that?
There's 2 little tubes like right there. One of them sticks up in there and then you turn it on and it pumps the water.
Why do you have to press that blue button on the side?
I'm not sure. I just know that you have to do it.
Which blue button?
This? Oh,
We
I
can't
should
see
probably
it.
flip it around for you guys.
Talking about open handed.
The one on the side.
Couldn't get to the start one morning, and I was like, maybe I should read it. So then I was like, oh. Push it in.
What's that sticker say?
It's for the compression.
It lowers the compression, so it's easier to start.
So you can start it. That's why you can't start it, it's too much. So you push that and then you can get it started.
So if the blade is, let's say, cracked and you feel you need to change it, what do you need to do?
I did not know how to change the blade. I know I would definitely tell my.
Just turn it outside.
Other side, buddy.
See the nut right there on the blade? On the blade.
Oh.
So you just take that out, take the blade off,
Should be the
replace
same
the
tool.
blade.
Is it the same size as them?
It's the, should be
This
the
one
smaller
looks-
side. Some of them are interchangeable. Try the smaller side.
The smaller side like this?
Double sided.
Too big.
So it's a different size.
So it's a different
Yes,
size
it is.
altogether.
Sometimes they're
That's good.
interchangeable.
Right, they're
so.
universal, but that's a Husqvarna and that's a steel, so. So anyway, you would just take that nut off, lift that blade up, put the new blade on, put it back on, screw it back down.
Isaac, pause.
So that's the K12 starting it, taking the blade off, checking for damage.
Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
No.
Is there like an appropriate time, like after you start the blade up, to like when you should start cutting?
You started running at the truck and then you walk over to this.
No, I meant like should you put the blade to like the wood or metal, whatever you cut, and then like start the?
I would start pulling the trigger and then go into it.
So get it up to speed first.
Yeah, I would not put it on and then start. That does seems pretty unsafe to me.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, no questions, we're good?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Firefighter Jake.
So, this is a electric fan. You can use it for ventilation, you can use it for cooling, you can use it for whatever needs you would need a fan to do.
Hold on, stop, Jake. Apparently you can't hit the side button. Go ahead.
Which part did you get?
I stopped the video on accident. Go ahead.
So it's a battery operated fan, so it's got two Milwaukee batteries in it. Power it. You want to make sure that your bars are always full. If they're not, you want to get them filled back up. It's pretty simple to just turn it on, just by hitting the power button. Then you got a dial for speed. You're going to check to make sure everything's damaged, making sure that it spins properly. There's no kind of like noises or anything, fan getting hitting debris or anything like that. But that's about it.
What would an appropriate time to use the fan?
So if you're needing to like ventilate, move airflow, like when you're fighting a fire, you can cause either positive or negative pressure in the house to control which direction your flow path is going in the house.
So, is that just battery powered then?
It also has a corded option where you can plug an extension cord in it for if you need additional time. So if the batteries aren't going to last for as long as you need the fan to be running, then you can always use an extension cord and give it power so that you can keep doing what you need to be doing.
What's the proper way to store it? Because I assume you don't store it with that handle up there like that.
Yeah, it's just got a, put that down, make sure you get your clamp back on it, and then it stores easier inside your truck.
So does that clamp do anything else?
It can also hold like an extension cord or whatever you need it to whenever it's fluffed out. You can
Raise the handle back up.
tighten it.
You can tilt the fan? No, the fan, not the whole thing.
Oh, that's your tightener for the fan to lock it in.
To lock it in place.
So what if I like need light? Turn the light on.
You need light, the light button.
You can't run the light without the fan.
Without the fan.
Very nice.
So whenever you're checking out, what all are you checking?
You want to check your fins, you want to check, make sure that there's no kind of big gouges or anything on it. You want to make sure that your plug is clear, you don't have any kind of debris or anything in that, so if you need it, you wanna make sure your batteries are fully charged. If not, you're gonna have to charge as soon as possible. Make sure that everything is just functioning properly, make sure it goes up to speed, make sure that all of your indicator lights are working.
Questions?
Now, for the history part, Superbat was formed by a guy by the name of Al Weisterman. He passed away December 27th. He founded the first positive pressure ventilation and the first light tower in the United States. His memorial service is actually today, I believe. So he's a Superbat that goes back a long way.
Yeah. Who's next?
I'll go. Gotta throw a little history.
Got a leave.
Excuse me, sir.
I don't have anything to talk about with amateur stress control, so. I'm firefighter Kirk. So I got a spreader to spread things, for extrication. You can use it, like we said earlier, to lift open a garage if it's, if you want to control things, you feel me? So we're gonna look at it. First, we're gonna look at the battery. It has 2 bars, so it's kind of low. This isn't. Yep, still 2. So we would want it to be at 3, because these do run out pretty quick, especially on scene, trying to get somebody out of the car or whatever we're using it for. We're gonna put that back right there. Then you go to the side of it. On this side, there's the power button. It's turned green now, and then just gonna turn right. And that's the widest it gets. And another tip is, if the car's on this side, make sure to place your body on that side so you're not pinching yourself, because this is a lot of pressure while using it. Well, I'm gonna close it back up real quick. And then we have these extra tips, just in case if these tips aren't long enough and we need to make a more extended reach. So basically, there's these buttons. Like that, down. You just slide them on. Just like that. And now you have a way bigger reach instead of using these tips. I don't know, I've never used them before, but maybe they're good, maybe they're not, who knows. I'm gonna add these. And then the best way to store them is completely close like that, because they are used for spreading things. So you wouldn't want to leave them open if they're used to spread. That's just not smart.
So you want them closed tight together?
A little gap.
A little gap? So what am I checking for on here? Say like if I'm gonna go through the tool in the morning, what do I wanna look for?
Well, I'm looking for the teeth, because if they're not 90 right on the teeth, as you can see, there is. So if you didn't have like these and you put it on the car, you can see it's a little damaged up here. But if you put it in a door jamb and it's slip and ball, it's just gonna slip right off whatever you're putting it on. You're not gonna be able to get any grip with it. Another thing you're checking for, just making sure it does open up and close, because that's the primary reason that you're using it for. Make sure it's clean, no oil on it, no other chemicals that can degrade it or.
So where's the spot that some debris could get hung up in there?
Up in here, because when you open it up, as you can see, if you open it up, the debris get caught in there, and you try to close it, it might get jammed, and it's not what you want. Any other questions?
You know how far the original spread is with the tips that come with it?
No, I do not. Not at all. I just know with those tips, it makes it longer. So if these aren't doing the job, get them in the truck.
I've seen those tips useful in a dash roll.
But those ones,
The other ones, yeah, just for that extra
little,
spread.
yeah, I can see that.
Is it 36 inches the original? I believe
So
it's
is there
42.
anything else I should be looking for on those tips? On either set?
Cracking.
Cracking? Yeah, absolutely. If you see a crack in there, I would not use that. I would take it out of service and get it replaced. Are there lights on that? On that handle?
That's a great question.
Is there lights on that?
Yeah.
There is. How do you turn them on? Is there a button for it, or?
That's a great question. Huh?
Because I know you got the power on, I don't see any lights.
Oh. Oh, well, if it worked.
Anybody else know?
No. It don't look like it's working, man.
So the lights don't work on it. Okay.
Okay, so no lights.
It's good to know.
I've never seen it work before. I'll have to put that in PS Strikes. Talk to my officer, let him know for the crew that's on shift. Whenever they use this tool, that is not up to par where we need it to be for my SOPs. Any questions, concerns?
Good job, Peter.
KB,
Who's
will you
next?
please put that battery on the charger?
Yeah.
Keg, is it your turn?
Okay, so we got the circular saw, this one's not quite as complicated as the other tools. So I'm gonna be looking for a CMT. I'm also gonna be looking at, there's a collar here that holds that blade on, and I've actually seen those sheared and the blades go flying and either crack this part here or crack the top. And I'm also gonna be checking my wire, because more times, often than not, on construction sites and stuff, they'll just use them until they just quit, and you can shock yourself pretty bad with the cable on this. So this one's got an adjustable handle, which is actually I've never seen before, just to get the right leverage, to keep your hand out of a dangerous spot, I guess. A lot of these screws are reverse threads for these blades. So there's some aren't, but the majority of them are. So I've almost cross-threaded them just because the majority of them are reverse threads, and you always stumble across the one that's not.
There's an adjustable plate at the bottom to adjust your depth, and then your angle on the other side. That's pretty much it. And then obviously there's different like wood blades, metal blades, stuff like that for these. And then you said we turn the blade backwards.
Some
in order
blades
to-
you turn them
like if we're gonna
backwards,
cut a
yes.
bus or anything like
Cut
that.
through the metal.
But I'm always gonna be wearing my appropriate PPE. And like I said before, I'm just kind of going through here and looking for any thermal, mechanical, any abrasions that could be to any moving parts. And I've also seen like these overheat because they've got like sawdust or something clogged in there. So you always, we used to blow our power tools out with like the air before we put them up. But your Allen wrench to take your blade off is over here. Obviously, always make sure that your sawzall is unplugged before you try to change the blade. So this one is not reverse thread. And then some of the older ones, so this one's got a collar on it where when you slide that blade down, it's got a flat piece on either side and then a rounded on top and bottom. And then your collar slides down in there to make sure that your blade is centered. I've also seen the older ones that didn't have that fail. You shoot the blade off because it wasn't seated right. But these are pretty easy. You can't screw them up very easy. And that's pretty much it. And then I always turn it on, like as soon as I plug it in and get done changing the blade, I turn it on and let it go for a couple seconds before I start cutting with it, just to make sure I don't have any loose parts still. So, you guys have any questions on this?
Is there a way to find out the measurement, like an easy way to find out the measurement if that Allen wrench happens to fall off or something?
As far as the bolt size in there, I'm not sure what. I'm pretty sure all Allen wrenches are the same. So for these saws, so
Can you use a socket on that?
yeah, you can use a socket on there.
So if you lost the Allen wrench, you could
Use
take
a
a socket and still get it off.
Yep.
Is there a specific tightness on what that holding saw?
I don't think there's any specific like torque. I think it's just hand tight. So, any other questions? Okay.
Thank you, sir. Who's next?
Take us home, Matthew.
You should help him. Go for it. Go help. You got it.
So we got the OG version of the tool he was using. So it's a hydraulic pump with a hydraulic tool and the hose and that bolted on it. I always start by checking the fuel. You have two types of gas here. You have unleaded and we have gasoline. This one does not unleaded. I mean true fuel and gasoline. This one does not take true fuel.
What's true fuel?
A mixture of something. Gas and what? Gas and oil.
It's
But
pre-mixed.
some people leave the tool on, this one's on, some like it off. And then some people will leave these different however they want them. I always leave the gas on and the tool on, so turn the choke on, there's gas in it. And then I like to pre-connect it before I turn it on, so connect these, you make sure it says it's in the return and not pressure state. If it's in the pressure state like this, the tool won't even turn on. I like to check these for damage every time I try them. So I mean, if there's a hole in them, you know, it's bad news bears. So no cuts or anything on them. It's always good to go. Connect them. You pull these back. You'll see little like grooves, and it'll pull back. If you try to pull back anywhere else, it just won't move. That's how they lock. So now I pull out, give it a little tug. Same thing with this one. Just the opposite. And on this side it's the same way, same concept. Is that in? Pull that. Make sure the tool's on, choke's on, gas on. So we usually get a little idle out and turn off. And then when you put it up.
So what if you disconnect that while it's in pressure mode?
Then you're Superman, but it would, I mean.
You'd have what spraying everywhere?
Yeah, you'd have hydraulic fluid just going everywhere.
Yeah. I've seen it happen.
Isn't it like super hard to do that?
Not as hard as you would like it to be.
Why are those caps really important?
So no debris gets in there?
Mm-hmm.
Which I was gonna explain. When you put it up, you're gonna wanna put the cap tabs on every single time. Especially for truck checks, make sure they're on there.
So, what's the benefit to this compared to the other one?
They don't die.
They don't die?
Well, it could die, but
Well,
not longevity.
yeah,
I could run this a lot longer.
yeah, no battery.
Who, Trey, you have not. Who has not touched or worked with these at all?
No, it's
The hydraulics. Have you? If you haven't, but here we got enough time. Is your class over with, sir?